right, I guess we start. The time is 10:00. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Regardless of where from the world you have joined us from, we wish you a warm welcome and thank you for being in this session today. My name is Lana. I am the marketing manager at OctoCore, and I will be your host for this webinar. From fryer to filter, protecting oil and profit in food processing. A very interesting topic, and the essence is we will try to understand how efficient oil filtration can improve product quality, can decrease oil consumption, improve also the lifetime of oil, and of course, increase profitability. A very complex but very exciting discussion we plan to have today. So whether you're a food processor, a consultant, maybe an equipment supplier, or just a simply curious mind in food processing realm, we hope that you will find some valuable insights and practical methods that you can take with you after this webinar. So before we begin, I would like to introduce my fellow speakers. We have two colleagues of mine with extensive experience in food processing. First, we have Anna Dietz. Anna is joining us from Poland today. She's a food processing expert with more than 15 years experience working with numerous food processors in the whole Eastern Europe and across a wide range of products and applications. And we have Marcel Klausmeijer, who is joining us from the Netherlands. He's our global application manager at OctoCore. He brings more than 30 years experience in food processing, protein processing, thermal treatment. So together, we have quite a lot to give you, and we will guide you through this topic. So let's take a quick look at what's on the agenda today. We start by looking at the market trends. What is driving demand for fried and convenience foods? From there, we discuss why stable frying conditions are the foundation of effective oil filtration. We then explore the role of oil quality in frying performance, and finally review different approaches to oil filtration. Then we will share with you some case studies, some real-world case studies, and with the results that we see in food processors' facilities before we open the floor for questions. The presentation will take approximately 40 minutes with a Q&A session in the end. So please, this is an interactive session. Leave your questions as we go in the Q&A in the chat box, and we will try to pick up as many questions as we can at the end of this. Before we start, I would like to ask you all a simple question. What kind of food processing do you carry out today? So you should see this poll on your screen now. It's always very interesting to understand the diversity of the audience, and I will share with you the results. So please click one of the options you see on the screen. Maybe you're in the coating, in the cooking, in the frying, or maybe freezing business. Maybe none of those, that's also fine. So please take a few seconds. All right, I think we have quite a lot of replies by now. I will close it and briefly share with you the results. As you can see, we have a lot of people from the frying business, freezing, some don't process, and so on. All right, now we close this and we go in the first chapter, and that I will take, and this is namely trends in the convenience food market. If we look at the frying food sector specifically, we see two main trends, and that is convenience and premiumization. Consumers want products that are easy to cook, quick to cook, consistent in quality, good taste, and even healthy nowadays. And processors have to move into that direction. They have to offer more value-added products. We see that a lot of our customers, they diversify their recipes, their coating variations, marinated versions, pre-cooked, portion-controlled. The diversity is endless today. Premiumization is actually the need for high quality of the same product. So there's a trend that we see that consumers expect actually to have high quality food, even if it's pre-cooked or pre-prepared. That means that processors have to be really attractive when it comes to the appearance, to the texture, to the bite, and to have really repeatable results in all their products. When it comes to product variety, that is also getting larger and larger. That means that processors need flexible processing lines that can really handle different recipes, different product types. So in one glance, global market in terms of convenience food, we see very positive numbers, 6 to 7% estimated CAGR growth by 2033. And this is all fueled by changing lifestyles, by urbanization trends, and demand for quick and ready-to-eat meals. Why? Well, because people don't have time and they don't have energy to cook anymore, not as before. And that also shows in consumer behavior. We see that 3 in 5 consumers globally use convenience foods at least once a week, while 1 in 5 consumes convenience foods more than once a day. So the consumption is there, the growth is there as well. And when we look at different segments, we have broken it down in chilled, frozen, processed meats, ready-to-eat meals, seafood, plant-based. The growth is there across all sectors. While the percentage growth can be different, but the trend is very positive. Something I could lift up is ready-to-eat meals seem to grow a lot in diversity of ingredients, while in seafood there is a clear trend, or let's say more attention is paid to the origin of the seafood, sustainability demands from consumer side. And finally, plant-based products, they're really driven by more and more flexitarian consumers, people who combine both eating the traditional ways, but also vegetarian days per week. So health, sustainability, and efficiency, these three have to go together these days. And there's an increased focus from the consumer side to have less oil in their food, to have air fryer compatibility of their products. There is a growing pressure on the food processors to balance all of this, the quality, the cost control, and sustainability aspect. And therefore, as a result, we see a rising investment in automation, smart oil management, new different innovative filtration methods to protect margins and increase product quality. So with that being said, I think a natural step now is to look how stable frying becomes the foundation of effective filtration. And I would like to invite Marcel to jump in. Hi, Marcel, welcome.
Hi, thank you, Lana, and welcome to everybody here today. Thank you for joining us. And yes, I would like to shed some light on something that's just as crucial to the filtration. The oil filtration is how you manage your frying process as well. So the fundamentals of industrial frying, of course, why do we fry? Why do we fry products? Well, first of all, if it's a coated product, we want to set the coating. And within a fryer, you can either go for ready to eat, fully fried to the core, or we can do flash frying, of course, to set the coating and then continue either the frying process in a hot air oven, spiral, or linear, which, by the way, are all technologies that OctoCore, through its different companies, Sweden and the Netherlands, all develop, engineer, build, and install all around the world. Just wanted to mention that we are not only in the clear oil industry. Anyway, so modern industrial fryers, important that they create a stable environment so that the oil management and the oil filtration can be used to the optimum effect. Why do we fry? What do we fry? Primarily kind of fast food products, chicken nuggets, strips, schnitzels, meatballs, frikandel, if you're from the Netherlands, plant-based products as well, and all sorts of appetizers. The type of crumbs and the type of breading also has an influence on the type of oil management that you need. So what else impacts oil quality in the lifetime in fryers? Excessive temperatures. Temperature peaks or excessive temperatures higher than that actually necessary to get a good quality will deteriorate your oil faster than necessary. Fines and sediments that are free floating in the oil also contaminate the oil. Hot spots within your fryer, very, very common in some of the older technologies. are very important to minimize or limit completely. For example, in the OctoCore fryers, it is all possible to have a uniform, homogeneous temperature throughout the whole oil section, frying section, and you can set the level of the oil above the product per 1 millimeter accuracy. So very, very accurate, which in return gives you a better oil management and a better oil filtration. Residue buildup continuously pollutes the oil. I would like to explain that a little bit further. Small sediments can, over time, within the fryer, coagulate and create clumps. They need to be removed. And common fryers usually have a larger particle filtration, either via a scraper and then via a paper filter, or it will be deposited in a collection bin. Those are large clumps which are contaminating the oil, but you also have to remove the fines that are free-flowing. So those are two different methods within a fryer that can clean your oil or contaminate your oil. Something out of the experience with what we see in the field is that the cleaning of the fryer is very, very important. We all know that it is important, but very often there is a manual cleaning involved, and there is a type of CIP cleaning involved. The OctoCore fryers are fitted with CIP nozzles and with a very special cleaning recipe that allows the cleaning detergent to be sprayed into the more difficult corners of the tunnel and allow, through the recipe, to soak, to have a soaking time, a set soaking time during a, let's say, a 30-minute cleaning, CIP cleaning cycle. This soaking is very important to allow the detergent to remove and loosen all coagulated oil particles, which over time can accumulate more and more and more and could be released and become part of your product flow. So yeah, the soaking time is extremely important. Having a clean fryer before you refill it with your clean oil the next morning, it's a very important thing. One more thing I would like to add there. What we see sometimes is that all the procedures are being followed, but we see that the fryers are not completely fat-free. And one of the reasons for that could be that the cleaning detergent is not added to the rinsing water in the right concentration. So for example, if it's a 0.5 to 5% concentration per volume of water, it's very important to stick to those concentrations and not use less, because less detergent will have a lesser cleaning effect and does not completely remove the old oil in the fryer. Yeah, and then finally, poor process control leads to inconsistent frying conditions. Of course, temperature and time, first in, first out, the right setting, the right temperature settings, and the right oil flow within the fryer are extremely important. All right, the building blocks of effective oil management. I already mentioned a couple, of course. Precise temperature control, very, very important, not just as a setting in your recipe, but precise temperature control throughout the whole fryer and every spot where your products are floating or on the belt. Effective removal of fines and sediment. Yes, of course, my colleague Anna will cover that in the next section. Stable oil level and circulation. Again, setting the amount of oil above your product to the right height is also very, very important. Thorough cleanability, I just mentioned it, and the continuous process monitoring. Throughout your whole process, throughout the day, creating a stable frying environment are crucial. Yeah, maybe I covered this a little bit too fast. I should have probably ended with it. That's the way it goes. Again, yeah, thorough cleaning is important. It is an important step in every processing plant, especially when it is for ready to eat. Here again, when you're working with oil, it's extremely important that you remove the oil, follow the correct cleaning procedures, take your time. Very often, the manual cleaning with a high pressure hose is sometimes rushed, and sometimes the more difficult places underneath the belt, more difficult to see, are difficult to clean with a high pressure hose, and therefore the soaking times and the rinsing times are important. Yeah, deep cleaning, of course. There are different types of cleaning detergents that you can use, and you have different recipes throughout the week that you need. All right, that was, I believe, my part of the webinar today. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Marcel. Anna, I would like to welcome you to continue our story and going into the role of oil quality when it comes to frying performance. Welcome, Anna. Do we have a delay? Maybe we have a delay here, I think.
There she is.
Yeah.
Welcome. Yes. Oh. Welcome to everybody. I'm facing some issues with internet connection. I hope that this presentation will be delivered. I can see the slide, the role of oil quality in frying performance right now.
We can hear you, Anna, so please go ahead. It's all good. Should we maybe ask you, Marcel, to continue a little bit until we figure out the connection issues with Anna? What do you say, Marcel?
I'll do my best.
Good, thank you.
Yes, so of course, that's why you're here today. All about the oil filtration, the quality of oil, the methods that are available, and the method that we deliver as part of the solution, not only to the OctoCore fryer technology, but to any fryer of any major industrial manufacturer can be used for the same system. So oil is one of the highest variable costs in frying. It is used in large quantities, and it doesn't have an indefinite lifetime. What does oil affect? Of course, it affects the product quality. Very important, the taste and color, shelf life, and the brand perception. How does the consumer perceive your product when he or she tastes or sees it or feels it? The taste experience in the mouth is important effect of the right amount of frying with the right amount of breading and crumbs. There are a lot of variations. There are a lot of things that a supplier of a clear oil machine such as us have no influence on, and that is on how the product is being formed or what kind of ingredients are being used to set the crumbs or the breading. But here we're going to focus on the actual clear oil. So oil degradation is seen as a normal part of the process and very often accepted for what it is, and the additional cost also accepted. Very often, however, not enough is being done to prolong the quality and the shelf life of oil, and that's what this section is all about. So there are a lot of hidden costs in poor oil management, increased oil consumption, and frequent oil disposal. First of all, it's expensive to dispose, and it's expensive to refresh your oil tanks. Inconsistent color and crust. The inconsistency can be influenced, of course, by the quality of the oil, but also by the type of frying and the type of oil you use and the type of fryer. So there are a lot of influences. What you can influence, however, is the quality of your oil. Compromised product quality, black spots, or acrylamide. Acrylamide, of course, is the blackening of starch in the product, and acrylamide is a carcinogenic and is a health risk. Higher crumb burning, increased cleaning downtime, something that I just mentioned before, And of course, you have energy loss due to dirty oil. Yeah, thank you. The power of continuous oil filtration. First of all, what you want is it protects your quality. It reduces the dark spots. Some of the things that I say is repetitive, so please excuse me for that. Important, lower free fatty acids and slows oil degradation. So again, the longer you can use your oil, the more the quality goes down, and you can prolong that by the right filtration. Again, it minimizes acrylamide formation. Not very much, not very known, let's say, on the consumer side, but the industry is doing everything it can to prevent black spots. In the snack food industry, after frying, we very often see optical sorters to take out products with black spots, whether it's a French fry stick, whether it's a chip or chips. And what you actually want to do is you want to prevent the formation of black spots, so you have less waste in taken out by your optical sorter down the line. You protect your profit. Extending your oil with a longer lifespan protects your profit. It increases your profit margin. You can actually cut your oil loss, which we'll cover in a few sections later on, by 30 to 45%. It reduces maintenance and delivers a faster return on investment. And it protects your operations. It reduces smoke, which improves the working environment of the people working around it. It also, if you don't have the right filtration outside of your factory with your exhaust, it can also be a nuisance to the community around the factory, and it prolongs your fryer lifespan.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you for jumping in. And we have Anna live.
Okay.
Anna,
Yes, I'm back. Sorry, some
no worries.
internet problems.
Thank you so much for joining back. Do you want to add anything on this slide before we move on, Anna?
I think that these points will be actually developed in the further slides, so we can continue.
Perfect.
The advanced oil filtration solutions. So what do we mean by that? We are talking about clear oil filtration. As you can see on this picture, it is the equipment which can freely stand next to your fryer on in a separate place. And the main row, it is fully integrated, seamlessly integrated with your fryer. And the main row is to remove particles and sediments during frying process. So depending on the products that you are frying, if it is fish covered with flour, if it is only product covered with some spices or breadcrumbs, by this solution, we can remove that particles from the oil and clean and filtrate oil. What is the other function? It extends a shelf life of the oil because we are talking about continuous filtration process. So it is ongoing filtration process. At the same time, it stabilizes product quality. Why? Because if you run a fryer hours and shifts before you replace the oil, you can easily notice the color of the oil when you start the production compared to the moment when you are removing it, exchanging it. Yes, there is a huge difference in that color. And of course, it will affect the appearance of the product. You will have the difference in the color of the crumbs. By having clear oil solution, continuous filtration, it stabilizes the product quality. The other function that it plays, it's the reducing operating cost in food processors. And why? This is because of the cost of the oil. The prices of the oil, they are fluctuating all the time. And in order to have the control over it, by using clear oil, that goal is possible to reach. And the last thing, but also important, it reduces health risks in final products. We can hear that, especially in European countries, there are certain regulations imposed on producers producers are obliged to measure free fatty acids. They are obliged to measure a free MCPD substance level in the products. And generally speaking, this acrylamide acid, because it has cancerogenic effect. Yes, so this is really important. By continuous filtration of the oil, you can simply minimize it. How this equipment works. If we look at the picture on the left, you can see the chamber, clear oil chamber, which is closed. Inside you have actually dirty oil mixed with all these impurities, flour, crumbs. And when a certain buildup occurs, by using pressurized filtration, we are just removing the dry part of it. So we are filtrating the clear oil. The clear oil goes back to the fryer, and what is left is a piece of a dry cake, which you can see on the picture on the right, which removes the clear oil. It contains less than 5% of the oil. The rest of the oil, which was in that crumble, flour, sugar, it is still it is filtrated back to the equipment, to the fryer. And here you can see the clear oil in action. This is how this cake looks like. So it is completely almost dry, less than 5% of the oil is there. And the other movie shows the clear oil, which is already filtrated. What I would like to emphasize is the size that we can filtrate very small particles up to 1 micron. So if it is flour, if it is some small spices floating in the oil, it is possible to take them out, because otherwise, if they stay in the oil, in the fryer, there is a risk of burns. Yes, and this is what Marcel mentioned before. That oil spoils quicker, and also there is a risk of dark spots on your products, on the side, on the nugget side, yes, on the coating. The placement, where you can place the clear oil, either it can be placed, positioned direct at the fryer, close to the fryer, or you can put it in a separate area, so it is up to you. We can move further. And what is the main function? This function we can put into 3 categories. First of all, healthier product, so aspect that has been already discussed today. So we reduce dark spots and improve the product appearance. The free fatty acids that I already mentioned, we lower them. Thanks to it, we ensure better oil quality. And also we prevent from acrylamide buildup. So these health risks are also important for us. This is one of the key factors. For the investors, the return on investment is really quick. Why? Because by using clear oil, you extend the shelf life of the oil, so there is no need for frequent replacement. Also, we are saving around 30 to 45% of oil consumption, because this oil stays in that crumbs, in the flour, in the spices, in all spices, in all these sediments, which goes down to the fryer. And also it delivers quicker return on investment because of these rising prices of oil. And what I noticed visiting many producers that use fryers in their dairy production, you improve working environment for your employees. The difference between factories which do not use clear oil, any filtration system, comparing with those who has installed clear oil systems, it's huge. There is no smell, there is no like burnt smell, the smoke hanging in that hole. Working conditions are definitely improved by using that equipment. And I would like to present you a case study which has been performed in one of our customers producing fish schnitzels, fish fingers. So the customer, he had two lines. In one line, he had a fryer without clear oil. In the second line, he put our fryer our clear oil for the test. And finally, that clear oil for the test, it stayed in the customer. And why? What were the main differences in operation on the fryer without clear oil comparing to the line with clear oil? The customer wanted to get the answer on how much money is actually leaving the fryer together with the crumbs. In a daily production, they noticed that they are losing around 100 kg of the breadcrumbs together with the oil. So that was what you can see in the first picture on the left. And Elana, if we could come back to the previous slide. Yes, thank you. And so that was one of the point. The customer noticed that crumb sediments, it still contains between 35 to 50% of oil when it is not properly filtrated. Customer faced the problems such as constant price oil fluctuations. And also he noticed the need for the frequent oil changes, yes. And what you can see normally is that the oil which is removed together with all the sediments from the fryer is very often seen as a normal waste, as like a part of the process. But in fact, this is something that we can really improve by using clear oil. So in the next slide, you have that sediments which are removed from the fryer during typical process when there is no filtration system. And when we look into right now the numbers from the case study, we can see
maybe here.
Yes, we can see that there is the return on investment was less than 2 years. Why? First of all, customer, they throw away every hour, it was around 100 kg of all these sediments, which also contained oil. So by having a filtration unit, they could filtrate all these sediments. So they saved a lot of oil, which was filtrated. The next subject is continuous filtration of the oil. So there was no burns, there was no need for a quicker oil replacement. So that was like a huge advantage for the customer that they didn't have to replace it so often. What was key issue for the customer was also to lower free fatty acids level. That was actually number one for them, because this is the type of the customer that really takes care of the quality of final product. So the quality is absolute number one for them. And also, if we look at the price that they paid for the oil, 1.80 euro cents per liters, and if we assess that in that 100 kg of the sediments that was thrown away every hour, 40%, that was the oil content. So this 40 liters, multiply that number, it gave the savings, as you can see, at the level of 100. Sorry, the numbers are very small. 172,000 euro per year. So the return on investment was less than 2 years, and that calculation was based on 8 hours of production per day. if we could also see right now the picture of the oil, when here you have the two line number 2, that was the line without any clear oil filtration. Line 1 was with a continuous oil filtration. And this is how the oil looks like, no matter the time. The continuous filtration of the oil guarantees the quality of this oil, comparing to the line where there was no filtration. So currently this customer has 2 clear oil, so the other unit was also installed in the second to his second fryer. So in order to sum up, what are the key benefits? Just to sum up, first of all, we get back that oil from crumbs and sediments. We also reduce the oil consumption, because there is no need to replacement of the oil so frequent as it is in normal production when no filtration unit is installed. Also, very beneficial is the possibility to remove all the small particles up to 1 micron. If you don't remove it, they will burn, they will deteriorate the quality of the oil, and finally you will find them on the surface of your product in a form of black spots. So all in all, the improvement of product quality is very valuable.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you
Thank
very
you too.
much. Before we go into the Q&A, let's have one quick poll. Which oil filtration technology do you use today, if any? So I will launch the options on the screen right now. You can see the options. Is it a built-in machine filtration only? Is it external batch filtration system? Is it external continuous filtration or no oil filtration? Or maybe you're not sure, that's also fine. So please click on the option that feels the closest to your operations. It's always interesting to understand what is the background, what did you come with, what is your experience so far. And I will, of course, share the findings with you as well. If we get a few more clicks. All right, thank you so much for taking this second. I will close the poll now and share the results with you. As you can see, 38% of the audience today has no oil filtration at all. So I really hope you found all of this information interesting, value adding. I will close this now. And finally, the fun part, the Q&A session. We have quite a lot of questions falling in there. Anna, Marcel, you can unmute both. I think we just run a spontaneous pickup of questions. You can, any of you can maybe start.
Okay.
All right, I see the questions. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so I can see the question. Can clear oil handle a frying fish with flour only? Yes, it can, because it can filtrate very small particles up to 1 micron. So any flour, any small spices. Of course, this is a typical product for our solution, and we can easily handle it.
Thank you, Anna.
Yeah, I see a question here from Mr. Mohammed Daniel Amir. What is the formulation for the cleaning detergent and recommended ratio as discussed? Yeah, this is related to what I said about having the right concentration of cleaning detergent in your rinsing water, especially during the soaking session of your cleaning process. Yeah, Mohammed, of course, there are many different types of manufacturers, producers, and suppliers for cleaning detergents. One that I personally know, one of a number, is called Spectac, which is SPEKTAK, Spectac. which is a very commonly used cleaning detergent in the CIP systems. And it can have a concentration, depending on the production that you do, anywhere between 0.5 and 5% concentration. For oil fryers, especially for snack food industry, a 5% concentration per volume of water is recommended. So if 1,000 liters of water go into your rinsing tank or in your fryer tank, then you'll need at least 50 liters of cleaning detergent to have the right cleaning effect. But that's just one example of many different types of suppliers that you have.
Thank you, Marcel.
Another question I can see here: how much oil life will the machine extend until a complete oil dump is required? So the idea of clear oil is continuous oil filtration. So it is ongoing process. But of course, what you will lose, that will be this less than 5% of the oil, which is still left in the cake, but it is very small number compared to what, generally speaking, is lost. And on the top of that, you need to take into consideration the type of the product that you are producing, because we need to remember that coated product always soak some oil. Yes, so you will have in that coating a percentage of oil. It varies. It can be between 5 to 7%. So that would be the amount of the oil that you need to refill your fryer with the fresh oil.
Thank you, Anna.
Yes, there are several people asking a similar question, referring to the case study. What is the production capacity of the fryer that loses about 100 kilograms of sediment, or crumbs in this case, through their rough filter? What is the production capacity? I believe it is a fish finger frying line where the test was done. I don't know the exact capacity.
I think that that was on the slides about, if we could go back to the slide, there was the number of the schnitzel's production. Yeah, 22. But that was, it could be somewhere around, I think, 2.5 tons per hour, something like that, close to 3 tons per hour.
All right.
Thank you. There's another question here. What is the start step if you want to install a clear oil?
Yes. So what we normally do, we try to find out what are the typical products that our customer is producing, what type of coating they use. Then we visit customer to see the current fryer, to see if there is a space to connect our clear oil, what actions are required from our side, what actions are required from customer side. If we agree, and if we agree on certain parameters that are important for the customer, yes, what results he would like to reach after that test, then we sign the agreement, and then we prepare the drawing where you can see how the fryer with the clear oil should be connected. So we are there in the whole process. We support customer from the very beginning till the very end, till the moment when a clear oil is delivered, and throughout the whole training process.
Thank you, Anna.
I see another interesting question. Let me see, where is it? It has the question: how long can the 1 micron filter, or how long, or when does it need to be replaced? I think Melanie Lacanlao, I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. The filter can handle up to 1 micron, question mark. How long is the replacement of the filter? The filter is actually a paper filter. It is on a roll, And for every full filter cycle where you saw the thick sediment cake exiting the clear oil machine, it's about 1 meter in length, and it's not exactly, I think it's 800 millimeters in width, or about 1 meter. And the roll, I mean, every time the cake is expelled or extracted, a new piece of paper automatically enters the filter. And it depends on your production capacity. It depends on the pollution that you have, on how long you can use that filter. But it's quite some time. And again, it really depends on the type of production that you have. Our experts, however, are able to give some estimations depending on the type of product and production hours. And we can do that in separate communication if you wish.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you. Marcel, do you want to pick up last question?
The last question, who do I contact? Who do I contact? First of all, please do contact your nearest salesperson that you can find on our website, of course, or the nearest agent in countries where we're not directly located with our own office or our own sales team. And of course, you can contact both Anna and myself for any questions related to this, and we will either answer you directly or we will relate the question back to our experts in the office related to this product or any other product in our production line. I would like to say one more thing, which I think is important, related to the technology of the clear oil machine. The clear oil machine can be connected to practically any modern industrial fryer. So it doesn't have to be an OctoCore fryer. It can be any other fryer that you have. There is a continuous recycling and filtering of the oil. So during the pressing and filtering of the oil, the production and the feeding of the oil to the fryer is not stopped. I think that's very important to know. There is a buffer tank underneath the clear oil machine, which has enough oil to continuously feed the fryer to maintain the correct level of frying oil in your fryer. So, and that is for any fryer that it is attached to. I thought that would be crucial to understand, which we didn't really cover today.
Thank you, Marcel. Thank you, everyone. Before we finish, we would really appreciate a little feedback from you. So I will just launch the last poll, if I can. Okay, sorry. Now I see what I did. I was still sharing. So, did you find this webinar interesting? Please click an option here. This is very good indication for us, so we know we do more of this, or we do less of this, or we adjust so it's more value adding. But please click here. Feel free to contact us anytime. You can do that through www.octocore.com, and the right person will get in touch with you. We're very agile, very quick, so you'll hear from us very soon. And thank you so much for spending your time this morning with us, or afternoon, where you are. We thank you. We have very positive rating here. Thank you back. And we will be coming back with webinars soon enough in autumn on more interesting topics, hoping to make it available for you. So thank you for today. Have a great summer, if it's a summer or winter, no matter where you are. We wish you all the best and see you next time.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you from the Netherlands. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.